In this video we're going to get started with pandas, and so we'll learn a little bit about what the fundamental data structure for pandas is, as well as learning how to access data using this thing called a data frame. But first of all, what we'll need to do is download the source code, and we'll need to copy them into whatever working directory on your computer. Because inside here we have these files that we'll need. So you'll have to copy these files over into your working directory. So I've already done this. I've created a folder called pandas, and I've copied over all of the things that we'll need. You'll want to open up your Anaconda Navigator and make sure that you have the right environment selected, and then we're going to launch Spider. Okay, so let's get started. So we'll need to import pandas as PD. Then I'm also going to import NumPy as NP, just so that we're going to use it to populate data. We're going to talk a little bit about pandas, what the fundamental data structure behind pandas is, and the thing is called a data frame. And a data frame, you can think of it as just being a single spreadsheet, a 2D table with rows and columns. So let's just create a data frame from just some data that we have. So remember, it's a 2D table, so how I can define a data frame is I can use a dictionary first and then give it to pandas and say, hey, can you convert this dictionary into a data frame? Each of the keys are going to be columns, and the values are going to be rows, column 1. Now I can just populate it with some random values, numpy.random.rand5. So essentially what I've done is created a single column, and it has 5 rows. So let's just create this data frame first so that we can see it. df equals, I can just create one by saying pd.dataframe, and then I just pass it in this dictionary. Pass this in. Now I've created a data frame. Let's see what this looks like. So I can run this guy, and you'll see I have column 1 and then just some random garbage values. So let's go ahead and create another column, create another one, and you'll see now we have 3 columns. And so this is just how we can give data into, we can give data to pandas into a data frame just by using this dictionary, where the keys are the columns and the values are going to be the actual values for that column. We'll see how we can fetch some rows and how we can fetch some columns. Index it like you would a list. So we'll say, well, let's get some. So when I run this, you'll see that we'll get the first 2 rows, because remember that this starts. We start at 0 and we go up to, but not including this index. So we get 0 and 1. Instead, we can just see what the column name is. So let's do col1, and what that will do is when I run it, print out all of the rows, the entire column, all the rows for this particular column, and it even goes so far as to tell me the data types. In order to fetch multiple columns, we actually use a list inside here. So suppose I want to fetch the first 2 columns, I can say something like print df, and then inside of here, instead of doing just quotes here, I can do a list. I'm indexing, and I'm giving it a list to index on. So I can say call and call2. So now if you see, we have extracted 2 columns.